In this video, we're exploring the important topic of setting boundaries when working with clients who present with complex emotional and behavioral challenges, like those with borderline personality disorder or BPD. If you're feeling overwhelmed, second-guessing your choices, or struggling to balance empathy with self-care, this video is for you. We'll explore practical strategies to protect your energy, stay grounded, and continue making a real impact without burning out. This is the story of Melissa, a fictional peer worker in the field of mental health care. This video is dedicated to her and to all the amazing workers who listen, validate, support, and walk alongside those in need every day. Melissa, you're showing up for people in deep distress. Repeatedly. People who are hurting. People who are lost. People who sometimes fight the very support they ask for. And you keep showing up, even when the system lets them down. And even when the system has let you down. You're not new to this. You've sat in rooms where emotions are sharp enough to cut through the air. You've calmed aggression, seen tears turn to rage in seconds, and you've been caught in the crossfire of someone's pain more times than you can count. You have experienced splitting and transference. One day, you're the safe one, the trusted one. Next, you're the enemy. And no one teaches you how to feel okay about that when it happens. Maybe lately, you have found yourself walking to your car at the end of a shift, wondering if anything you did today made a difference. Or maybe you're emotionally exhausted, but still going through the motions. Because what's the alternative? You're tired of being told to just practice self-care, as if a bubble bath could undo the trauma you absorb on a daily basis. Let's be honest, you're not burnt out because you don't care. You're burnt out because you do. So, let's pause the pep talks for a moment. No fluffy solutions here, just some space for truth. The frustration you're feeling? It's valid. When you're walking alongside someone in deep distress, feeling their pain as if it were your own. When you do everything you can to support them, while assisting the clinical team in uncovering the underlying issues. When you're asked to hold space for others, even when your capacity is running low. That's moral distress, not a sign of weakness, not being too sensitive. It's what happens when you care deeply, when you're the bridge between someone's lived experience and the system meant to support them. And you can see what's needed, but can't always make it happen. You're not working alone. You are part of a team, clinicians, support workers, case managers, support staff, each holding a different piece of the puzzle. But your piece? It's the bridge. You sit in the middle, between clinical insight and human experience, between system processes and lived realities. You're often the one who picks up what isn't said in sessions. The subtle cues, the shifts in tone, the moments when trust starts to form, or starts to fracture. And because you're there, day in and day out, you become the steady presence. The person who helps the clinician understand the full picture. And the person who helps the person feel like more than a diagnosis. That's not just support work. That's relational wisdom. And it holds the whole team together. You don't clock on and off emotionally. You walk into your shift already carrying yesterday's moments. The words that stuck with you. The eyes that looked at you like you were the last safe person in the world. And then you walk into another room, meet another need, offer another calm presence. You're not diagnosing or prescribing, but you are responding, interpreting, soothing, and translating. You're helping someone hold their story together, in a moment where everything inside them might be falling apart. Yes, Melissa, that kind of work, it costs something. And still, when you speak up about needing support or boundaries, it can feel like you're breaking some invisible rule. But you deserve the same compassion you offer others. Let's say that again. You deserve the same compassion you offer others. Let's be honest, mental health systems aren't perfect. They're complex, they're stretched, and at times painfully slow to meet real-world needs. But here's the thing, you're not working against the system. You're working within it, and often you're helping reshape it from the inside out. You're one of the people who sees the gaps, and instead of walking away, you step in. You soften what's hard. You hold what's human. And you don't do it alone. You're surrounded by others, clinicians, nurses, social workers, peer support. People who care just as much as you do. Sometimes, it's easy to feel like no one sees what you're holding. But the truth is, this work only functions because of the relationships between us. Because of the trust, the teamwork, the shared purpose. Yes, the paperwork is heavy. Yes, the protocols can feel rigid. But inside all of that is a deeper intention. To create safety, to offer dignity, to walk beside people in their hardest seasons. And when you show up with empathy, insight, and calm in the storm, you're not just supporting individuals. You are part of a quiet revolution in care, a human-centered, heart-centered shift in how we do this work together. If you've ever sat in your car a little longer before a shift, if you've replayed a tough conversation in your mind all evening, if you've quietly wondered, am I really making a difference? Please know this. You are, and you're not alone. There are others, just like you, walking through the same moments, holding the same weight. You are part of something deeper than just a job. You have woven into a community of care, a team of people who notice, who feel, who stay even when it's hard. The quiet check-ins after a shift, the way you read between the lines when someone's struggling, the moments where you advocate, support, and hold space. Not because it's in a policy, but because it's in your nature. No, it's not easy, but the impact you have through your consistency, your presence, your heart, ripples out further than you'll ever be able to measure. And in those moments when you feel like no one sees it, remember, you are part of something that matters, and you're not carrying it alone. When someone is emotionally dysregulated, especially someone living with traits of BPD, you're not just hearing their pain, you're absorbing it. It fills the space between you. That's why boundaries in this work aren't optional. They're essential, not just to protect you, but to protect the therapeutic relationship. Let's get practical. Here are 4 ways to set and hold boundaries with strength and compassion. Number 1, check your inner temperature. Before you respond, pause. Ask yourself, what's mine and what's theirs? This 5-second check-in can stop you from reacting from a place of guilt, fear, or frustration. Use physical cues such as tight chest, a clenched jaw, and shallow breath. They're often your first signal that a boundary needs to be held. Number 2, get clear on your limits before you're in the fire. What are your non-negotiables? What can you offer without resentment? Write them down. Practice saying them aloud. Because in crisis moments, clarity is your anchor. A calm, confident, "I'm not able to do that, but here's what I can do," is more powerful and respectful than bending out of fear of rejection. Number 3, don't personalize the pushback. People in crisis might test boundaries. That doesn't mean they're manipulative. It means they're scared. It means they're checking. Are you safe? Are you consistent? When you hold steady, kindly, and clearly, you're teaching trust without saying a word. Number 4, debrief, even if it's brief. This work builds up inside you. Debriefing doesn't always mean a formal session. It can be a 2-minute chat with a colleague in the hallway, a voice memo to yourself, a grounding ritual before your next shift. Don't carry it alone. You were never meant to hold it all by yourself. Boundaries don't make you cold. They make you credible. They create safety, not just for the person you are supporting, but for you. And when you set them from a place of compassion instead of control, you don't build walls, you build trust. I know it's hard. You care deeply. You want to help. But the reality is, you can't fix everyone. You're not responsible for their recovery or their choices. They need to do the work. You're here to support, to walk beside them, but you can't carry their journey. When a person refuses your help or isn't ready to take responsibility for their actions, that's on them. It's not a reflection of your care or your worth. You can only offer the support you're able to give and then step back. If they're not ready, there's nothing more you can do, and you don't need to carry that weight. Respect their autonomy. Let them own their choices, even when it's painful to watch. You've given them the opportunity to change, but they need to show up for themselves. This isn't easy, and it's okay to feel frustrated. But remember, your job is to support, not to carry their journey for them. Boundaries aren't just about protecting yourself. They're about respecting the client's right to choose their own path. You're doing important work, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Setting boundaries doesn't make you cold, it makes you strong and wise. It's the key to lasting in this work without losing yourself. This job is hard, and it's okay to feel the weight of it. But you're not alone in this. You are part of something bigger, and the work you do matters. I know it's tough, and some days you might feel like you're just not getting through. But trust me, the impact you're making is real, even if you can't always see it. Thank you, Melissa, for showing up, for caring, and for doing this work with focus. Remember, it's not about doing everything. It's about doing what you can with compassion, confidence, and clear boundaries. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who could use the support. And if you're feeling stuck or need more tools to stay grounded, check out the resources linked below. You don't have to navigate this alone. You're not just a peer worker. You're a lifeline, and that matters more than you might ever know. Take care and keep showing up. You've got this. See you in the next video.